I received a viewer question under one of my videos that relates to anxiety. It was an excellent question. I want to read the question and go more in depth because I think this will help a lot of people. So I'm going to read you the question, and then we can go into it. But just a caveat. This isn't medical advice, and if you do have any conditions of anxiety and you're being treated for it, that this isn't medical advice, and please don't change your treatment plan, and please don't change any medications that you're on. Consult your physician. This is just kind of what I found works for some people. And use your discretion as well with regards to your comfort level, touching anxiety, speaking to it, and meeting it. So use your intuition. So here's the question. The question is from the video Feeling Raw Emotions Without Being Overwhelmed, Part 1. So the question is, Sophia asks, hello. So I have a lot of anxiety. Sometimes it catches me and my head is spinning and I hear my heart beating faster. So if I want to stay with the feeling, the mind comes in all the time. Should I practice only to stay with the feeling? What do I do with the mind? Just ignore? Sometimes it feels that the mind is too strong, and there are times the mind is quiet and I can concentrate on the feeling. And then she put, love, Sophia, with the heart. I'm sending a heart to you, Sophia. So this is like an excellent question, and this is very, very, very common. So there's two things that are occurring here. So there's the anxiety, and then there's the mind racing. So let's talk about those two separately. And the imagery that comes to mind is the anxiety being like a child or a younger person, and then there's like a bodyguard energy, which is the thoughts. So let's slow both of these down and let's meet each one. So you have the anxiety in the body, and what we're trying to do is very, very gently try to come close to the anxiety and understand what the flavor of what it's afraid of. So the anxiety is very tied into the fear response. And as we know, anxiety and the fear response are both protectors. They're trying to protect us from something, or they're trying to avoid something from happening. So, and when we're dealing with, or when we're meeting anxiety, there's two states of meeting it, right? There's when you're in a calm meditative state and you're meeting an emotion that you're not actively feeling, or you're meeting it at the beginning of it when you're starting to feel uncomfortable. What I'm not suggesting is when you're actually in a full-blown panic attack. I do have some strategies that I have found worked for full-on panic attack, but what we're talking about is meeting anxiety when it's at that beginning stage of uncomfortableness. So I think the first thing that would be helpful is I find it helpful to personify these energies. It's easier to meet and understand. So the first question would be, how old is the anxiety? Do you feel the anxiety feels like it's like a child, like a very young child? Or is it a teenager or an adult? Get a flavor for what the age is. If the anxiety is younger, it's very common that, especially if you grew up in an environment where things were very unstable, they were emotionally or physically unsafe. The nervous system, it feels like a circuit board, electrical circuit board. And if the environment was not safe, the nervous system literally got fried. It got overwhelmed. And it was too much. Whatever was happening was too much for that little physical body. So coping mechanisms and bodyguards will come in to protect our body. And that's and that's wonderful for when we're young. So some common bodyguards that come in is either mind. The mind comes in because the mind wants to understand and make us feel safe. So it comes in to try to understand what is happening, to help us feel stable. The mind's trying to find stability and try to make sense of what feels very unstable, and it doesn't make sense emotionally. And then another bodyguard that could potentially come in is disassociation, where the mind completely tries to cut off access to the body so you don't feel the overwhelming. So as we get older, these mechanisms are still occurring. As an adult, we do have the ability now, because we're not in that situation, to touch into to the anxiety, and our nervous system will not get fried and overwhelmed. But that anxiety is still coming in because it's afraid the way that it was before. So knowing the age gives us a gauge as to how we can approach it. So then gently you can meet the anxiety, and you can ask. And when we ask these questions, we're asking the question without listening or thinking about an answer. It's almost as if you're in at the base of a cave, and you're just going to say your question. You're going to say the question, and you're just going to release it and see what you feel when you come back, because we're looking for like this sense of a feeling, not a cognitive answer. So some of the questions you can ask the anxiety is, what are you afraid of? What are you afraid will happen? What are you afraid to feel? Is there any beliefs that the anxiety has? Beliefs about our capacity to feel things? Our capacity, does it have beliefs about our capacity to withstand physical sensations and emotions? Does the anxiety have beliefs about your ability or just trust in the universe that we can handle the situation that you're presented with now? Or is the anxiety anticipating something that'll happen in the future? Is there a belief there about our capacity to handle anything? So that's where we would begin. And I would meet that anxiety with friendship. Thank it. First, thank it. Thank you for wanting to protect me. Thank you for wanting to prevent me from feeling something uncomfortable. I know that you're trying to help me. Meet it with friendship. And then you can gently move your attention to the bodyguard, which is the mind coming in and racing. Thank that as well. You can thank the bodyguard for coming in and trying to help you understand things, try to help you deal with the anxiety, because it wants to deal with it. So the two of them are trying to help you at the same time, but they're doing kind of like opposite jobs, almost like as if you hire a security guard for the day shift, and then you have another security guard working the night shift, and they both keep undoing the work that the other one is doing. So we thank the mind as well. And you can connect with it and say, thank you for coming. Meet it in friendship and in love. And just let it know, I know you're trying to keep me safe, but I can feel this. It's safe to feel this. And you go in and you can gently touch into the anxiety and feel it as a body sensation. Feel the tingling of it, the energy of it. And you can touch into it slowly by slowly. Like, you don't need to take a long time with it. And the next time that you start to feel anxious, if you notice that you get very much into your thoughts, just gently bring your attention to the body. And what you're doing is you're training your nervous system to trust that you can actually physically feel it. And what we want to do as well is that movement of moving into the thoughts, moving our attention back to the body, up and down, like you mentioned here. What do I do with the mind? Do I ignore it? We don't need to ignore it. We can notice the thoughts coming in. And you can also ask the question to the thoughts, what is it that you're figuring out? What's the belief here about the situation? What are you trying to prevent me from feeling? What are you afraid to feel? What are you afraid to feel? Because a feeling is a body sensation. So if you really, really break it down, the feeling of being in love, the feeling of being scared, the feeling of being bored, the feeling of joy, they're body sensations. We label these later, but they're body sensations. So what would happen if we would experience the anxiety as a body sensation? What if we were to experience anxiety as a movement of energy in our awareness, and we were not to attach ownership to it? What would that feel like? That it wasn't your anxiety, it's that anxious energy passing through the body and then moving out. Like, how does that change the relationship? So I welcome you to try this, meeting these energies, these what we call uncomfortable energies, but with curiosity, with thankfulness, because they're here to help us, without resistance, and see how, if it's possible to soften them in your relationship. I hope this is really helpful. Thank you so much, Sophia, for your wonderful question. I hope this video allows you some playfulness to play with these experiences of awareness and meeting all these beautiful energies and these emotions as they come and they flow. And if you have any other questions, please feel free to place them under the videos, because I do read all of them, and occasionally I'll make these videos because I know that these questions are really helpful for others. Thank you so much, and I wish you all fruition.